into that bottom right well area. So Roll20 will lose out on that keep in the top left with no response. It's going to be catapult pushing in the top lane with the aid of the Night Camp, and the temple is grabbed by Wubby.
Yeah, this is currently a horrible spot. This is a disaster for Roll20. I mean, hands down. They're losing the last fort in the middle right now. The core is already getting attacked by those minions. You know, honestly, if Samuro would have been there, he could have just started to chip away on the shield too. And definitely get some extra damage in as well, because Roll20 just didn't react to it. But now we're having more keeps attacked directly, and this is a tough time. It's 3 levels behind, talent disadvantage. Where do you go from here?
Game 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's rough. It really is. Especially on Sky Temple. It just gets worse and worse. Eventually, you just have to keep going for the high-risk plays. It can fail once, it can fail twice, the game is over, right? So Armory gets in here instead of for defense. His best bet is to make sure to clear out the catapults and then try and find the clone. But
there's Abatha.
Wubby's going to clean around it, play around it.
Abatha is helping out with it again, keeping the Haka back. That's 10% on the core already as is. Bottom temple has been taken over again. This is brutal. This is actually tough to watch, I'm not going to lie. Roll20 is getting completely outclassed in this game.
It's tough to watch because I can't come up with a solution. I mean, I can't even imagine what's going through their comms right now, right? Like, you have to force something. They're going to go for a pretty big flank here on the bottom. They had Murden come all the way from the top, move in through the minion wave, and he's trying to find somebody, but Dignitas spots him.
The only thing that's going to happen here, most of the time, Dignitas can just simply keep Samura at the top lane, continuously pressure the core, and force Roll20 to react over and over again, and then make a rotation. Look at Samura, he's at the core again. Like, they're trying to get a kill here against Poik. They might even get the kill. But the core is already falling. And now Greymane is dead. That core is going to die. Wubby alone is going to take it down. There's the copy on Abatha, and that's game.
No way this can be stopped. Team Dignitas keeping the push. Wubby committing as well, getting off the crit strikes, and there she blows. Team Dignitas able to get a 2-0 over Roll20 as they take out the core.
Abatha Samuro is pretty strong in Sky Temple in particular.
Yeah.
And there was just no real answer from Roll20. They got just out-rotated, outclassed. Yeah, it's only 4 kills against 1. But it doesn't really matter because the ways that we've seen there, I mean, just look at Samuro, 15,000 hero damage. He doesn't really participate in too many big fights or anything. He just outplayed them the entire time. Play around them, force them back. And from Roll20, you need more decisiveness. If you are running an Abatha, a Murden Piranha composition against an Abatha, and you know that the Samuro is locked in that 1 versus 1 with the Haka, you're playing basically a 4 versus 3 down there. And you can focus those heroes down if you get that stun chain. You need more decisiveness coming out of Roll20 in these situations to make that happen. What wasn't the case, and then just Wubby outplayed them with Samuro here.
I mean, I wouldn't mind again seeing that aggression around that giant camp on the bottom right, just a little bit more, right? It felt like they were a little bit too scared.
At least the temple the second.
Yeah, at least something, you know? All right, well, that's going to be a 2-0 for Dignitas. We'll be right back with game number 3, and we'll see if they can close this one out. welcome back to the Samuro HGC show as we prepare for our third game of the day. Dignitas is currently up a 2-0, and as slightly mentioned earlier, they have won both their matches thanks to Samuro. One from Monkey and one from Wubby.
So good to have you back.
Why?
Because
tell me all the reasons.
Huh?
Tell me all the reasons.
Because you're less funny than me, so that was pretty awesome. So now I have someone where I'm just like, oh yeah, that joke that was even worse than mine. So Lauren was a little bit difficult because his jokes were actually pretty good.
Amazing. Can we go to Battleground 3? Is that possible? Can we just roll the show? Let's just get it done. Let's just finish it. I was so excited to come back. I was.
You know why you deserve everything that you get today?
Why?
You didn't buy me the mug. When you tweeted that picture and you said you almost got it, I actually thought you were kidding and you secretly got it and you would give it to me.
The problem was like the pairing was a mug with a female shirt that says I'm with the sexy guy. The problem is,
I think it was a mug and a shirt.
No, but you bought them together. It was a combo. It was a combo of the two.
You can wear the shirt here.
I thought about it, but I was like, no, I cannot fit into that. Belly button would be hanging out. I was like, I'm not shaving for that. Like, no, I'm sorry, I can't wear it. So we had to put it back on the shelf there. Good story.
I wanted that mug.
It's a nice mug, man. You can get it on the internet. I'm sure.
It's not the same.
Everything's on the internet. Yeah, I should have gotten it for you. I'm rude. All right, game number 3, Volskaya Foundry will be the battleground. Let's head in and see if we get a hammer or maybe a Samuro.
I think it's going to be hammer time if it doesn't get banned. I mean, if you go up against Dignitas here and you don't ban hammer, then you're basically just asking for pain. So
they're still undefeated on this map, right?
No.
No, Leftovers got the win.
They lost against Leftovers here.
Yahtzee.
Oh God, no.
Team Dignitas starts off with the bans. So far, it's been Genji every single time for them. See if that'll... Well, actually, no. Genji was first by Roll20. Secondly was by Skin Tearful. But there we go. Garrosh is actually going to be their ban.
Okay, so only in the first game did Roll20 actually get that Garrosh. I feel this is going to be a hero that in the Crucible is very likely to be heavily controlled against Robodoba. I mean, it's one of those things where you can really try and push him out of his comfort zone by targeting the front line. And that's something that we're right now seeing from Dignitas. This is already looking like an early pick, maybe. I mean, they played Stitches here several times. I could see Stitches being played by them again. We have Johanna as super early pick, but I don't think that he would commit to a first pick Johanna here either way. So, yeah.
I do like your line of thought for Robodoba, though, because if you think about his third tank, typically he can play the Muradin, but he doesn't look as confident on it. You don't see the full engages. You would maybe think he goes ETC, but ETC is really having a hard time on that front line for a lot of teams. So it really feels like Team Dignitas is really moving in on that element of Roll20. Urel comes out for the first pick for Team Dig.
Shocking.
Shocking indeed.
Wubby picking his best hero in the first pick rotation. Never seen that before.
Wubby and Urel, name a better iconic duo. I'll give you time.
I don't think we have anyone in the league that has as much of a play rate on a specific hero than Wubby on this one. Not even on the support side, which is usually the one that is a little bit more limited in the pool that they play.
A little more tight-knit.
Yeah, like definitely Wubby on Urel is pretty much the iconic duo that we had in part 2.
Well, there's a Urel. Muradin does come out for Roll20 Esports. Make sure to grab the tank. Team Dignitas is no stranger to playing Johanna if they want to play it safe here. JPL's one to pick that up. I'm wondering if we're going to get that hammer, though. Typically, it's where you're going to see it picked up. Tirana Mephisto! So all that's out the window.
Yep, so Mephisto coming in for the second time. So basically them saying, all right, we're going to show Chris now how it's done. But yeah, hammer's still open. Mephisto now already picked. We still are waiting for the tank. This is a moment where Roll20 can, for example, say we're going to ban a tank out. I just don't think it's going to do them any good. Yep, because if you are having a setup like that that Dignitas has, they already wait for that Johanna ban. They're like, okay, we take Muradin, we ban Johanna out, so now what you're going to get? And I feel like in this setup, Dignitas can... I mean, you can go Nubarak, you can go for Stitches.
I would have preferred a Stitches ban here. Wouldn't Toronto been here too?
No, with the entire setup that Dig has, yeah, hook into Duranda. Even if you don't go Stitches, you can go Nubarak with Urel as well.
Yeah. Well, let's see what Roll20 is going to do here to figure out how to get on top of Mephisto, take him out in terms of damage. We got Lior coming out, and there's Hanzo. Still got room for an additional damage dealer later on. Wondering if we'll get that Greymane or something. All right, what tank you want, Dignitas? I want the Stitches. But it's Leo and Muradin.
Muradin is taken. If anything, it's a Nubarak outside of that.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, there's a couple of more that you could definitely take, but those are the two prime suspects, the Nubarak or Stitches.
ETC, actually.
ETC and Chromie. Okay.
Whoa.
ETC works well with URL too. Again, like, the concerns about ETC and Nubarak are always the same. They can be exploited in terms of their hit point pool, and some heroes that alleviate some of the pressure are Blaze and URL. So normally when you have those as a duo, it's easier to get away with those picks, and that's what we're seeing here now. ETC is great for peel for the backline. It's one of the main reasons why in the times of double support hyper carries, ETC was a preferred frontliner since he can easily peel. So that's what we're currently seeing from Dignitas, trying to peel for Chromie in the backline, trying to keep Mephisto here safe too. So yeah, with URL, definitely working though.
Is this a pure just blow up one target type of composition? You have the Toronto Luna Flare off of a temporal loop as maybe the setup there with ETC power sliding in and then Mephisto drops the souls. Like, what target lives through that? And Chromie damage to follow up on top of it?
Would you even go for temporal loop?
I was looking for more of the setup. Like, what gives the setup, right? There's no cleanse available.
I mean, you have ETC in Toronto already, so you have that Sun Chain. Do you really need to change that off a temporal loop? Like, if I look at that and I want to limit access, I would probably still go for Slow and Sands just because it gives you more control over any of the objectives.
Yeah, Slowing Sands is much better if you're trying to play the slow game with the poke at the controlling point. But if I just want to force the issue and just blow somebody up, which I think they have the blow up potential for, especially with Snitch being able to drop down the souls and then jump in, I can see it working with temporal loop.
No, I don't mean it's like crazy in the sense that it can't. That it can't work, but you already have a bit of a CC chain. So I personally would probably prefer to have the sustain through that because I would drop the temporal loop and go into the Slowing Sands. But yeah, I can see both ways.
Well, we'll see here as we head into Sky Foundry. Chromie and the Mephisto coming out paired with a Tyrande. On the left side, on the blue, the honors are yours, Caldor.
Quacknix playing Li Ming. We have Shad on Deckard Kane. Chris playing on Hanzo. Robadoba on Muradin. And Zarmany on Leoric in our third game of the series.
On the right side, on the red, it's going to be JPL playing ETC. Poik on Chromie. Snitch on Mephisto. Wubby on Urel. And Zalia to play some Tyrande. So this is the first iteration of Chromie buffs, not the second one, which will be coming soon to the HGC.
You know what I could have actually seen earlier? I could have totally seen in one of the previous games that Zalia is moving away from the support role for a game. With that being a match that on both sides doesn't matter because Roll20 is locked into the Crucible, Dignitas holds onto the #1 spot. I could see when they pick the Tracer on Sky, I could have totally seen that Zalia plays Tracer forward.
Just from good measure.
Yeah, just going a little bit old school there.
The hero that got him into the HGC.
Yeah, pretty much.
For those that don't know, might be some new viewers. Zalia's first approach in the HGC was when he was noticed in Hero League due to his Tracer play in particular. Came on, he's played many different roles. Played the sideline before he came over and played support. Bit of a history lesson for you. Seamlessly transitioning.
Yeah, and with Zalia was always really funny because I will never forget the first offline event that he was at where he had like huge eyes, was even looking a little bit more confused than usual and very, very happy when he had 0 ping. He was like, it's amazing. Like, I can hit everything.
It's kind of good, actually.
Huh?
Yeah, it's kind of good. The infliction and everything.
I'm trying.
Sounds like him a little bit.
No, yeah, he was very, very happy the first time he played Tracer on LAN and in LAN environment. So yeah, he was always super happy on that hero. So given the circumstance of this particular match, I could have totally seen that playing a role here. It's not the case though. So for now, we're having Zalia again back on the support, and it's the Celestial Attunement at level 1, so trying to remove those stuns. They're going to come from Muradin in particular here. When we're looking towards the rest of the lineup, pretty much what you would expect for Mephisto here, first of all. It's all about the spell power on his level 1. Very likely to see that echoed on level 10 with a Skull Missile. But of course, Chromie is also another hero that, given her rework, you have to focus on.
Yeah, she's been going more into Sandblast type of builds here. The first talent they usually pick up nowadays is a Mounting Sand. That time Smoker's Pursuit has fallen off for a lot of players, actually. The idea here is that, one, you're getting extra damage on your Echo, 40%, but also you can finish off your quest as soon as possible. Get all 50 stacks, make sure you get that Echo coming in there, and you make sure you have an early game prowess to push forward through. Try to get that early game lead on your opponent so you are hitting like crazy. And then, of course, you move into the level 2 talent that you're picking up. It's going to be that Draconic Barrage, which just gives you an extra proc on Bronze Talons and a little bit more damage.
Nice pick by Roll20 here on the emitter. Team Dignitas is a bit late with the transition. Now Snitch jumping over with a shade, but that's what I talked about earlier. A lot of those teams are now heavily focusing on isolating Mephisto whenever he throws the shade out and jumping on himself, and that's what Robert tried to do here. Now it didn't really result in a kill. We actually saw the counter kill instead happening against Leoric, but still it is going to threaten the Mephisto players a lot more, so they are not going to be as safe as at the beginning when their hero came into Hero League in particular and into the game, into Heroes, and caused a lot more chaos.
One of the reasons why you might see the HGC pair with them are someone that could protect that shade area, that knockback allows for him to get back to his safe area, so he does not get chased down. Chromie also was saved by JPL, which allowed for Dignitas to turn around and get that pick on the org. I do have one turret picked here by Zelia, and we're going to have the contest point on the middle area. JPL coming in and looking to control what he can. Now Zomni rotates forward and tries to shoo, run away from the left side of his control point.
In the meantime, Snitch has taken Static Barrier on level 4 for Mephisto, so pretty much the same build that we saw from Chris earlier, at least up to this point. Again, the 13 should, at 7 usually Trickery comes online, and then on 13 the additional spell power through the Skull Missile. But for now, it's all about the control here on the objective. And Chromie, of course, can really help out with that, just simply to the time trap itself. But JPL is already anchoring the play here. Looks like Roll20 was completely willing to give this up, get the early level 7, and try to reclaim possession of the control point in the meantime. But Dignitas has the extra talent now too. And we're seeing immediately a bit of a variation here for Snitch. Not going into Trickery, instead it's the Ghastly Armor.
Looking to stay alive. Figures they have enough damage already. And when you're trying to lock down one target and blow them up, could be enough for them. Wubby jumping out already, playing safe here. JPL is doing his best here on the front line with Zelia providing those heals, but slowly but surely Roll20 is starting to get that damage in. Robodoba jumps in and goes for a Stormbolt. It will hit Snitch, but he peels away. Yeah,
as long as they're not dying here, they can just easily move back and just reset at the fountain. That's exactly what Dignitas is doing. So slowly moving back, they have the 99%, and now they also still have the items. But Roll20 has been holding on to their own turret and also to the healing beacon that Shad has. So that's definitely something that they can use now. But Dignitas is making the quick rotation towards their own camp, trying to just set off that imbalance a little bit. And Roll20 is making the same move, so they're still attempting to at least get that advantage through holding the extra item over Dignitas.
Up there to 60%. Snitch jumps in, sees 3 there. The 2 spot on the bottom left finally come on over, but Roll20 is setting up this concave that JPL is holding for that front line. Zarmi, can he lift that creepy hand? He does. He gets on top of JPL and tries to go front line, but Quack is in trouble as Wubby dives back line.
Really good damage from Mephisto first, and then the follow-up as Zarmi goes in and drops Leming. Down she goes. 5 versus 4 now, and the rest of the team isn't looking too spring either. Zarmi in trouble. And even with the zone attempts that we're seeing from Shad, it's just not enough. The Protector goes over to Dignitas. They get another kill against Leoric, and the immediate pressure play through the mid lane.
Close fight, but Li Ming falling. The floodgates there for Team and Dignitas, and they look to roll with the Protector. It's one of the best things that Dignitas does, actually, is gets a lot of value on this map when it comes to Protector. Already opening up the middle, immediately transitioning straight to the top. The coordination between the two when it comes to focusing down the objects is one of the best we have in the HGC, and Team Dignitas is looking to grab that experience.
Yeah, also the temporal loop variation here on the side of Dignitas with Chromie. Chris in trouble, got locked down there, and goes down. 4 kills already as Dignitas is not only a level ahead, but starting to threaten the fort at the top lane and closing in on level 10 to add insult to injury. Snitch wants to go in against Harmony, and he gets the kill against Leoric.
Gets the kill against Leoric, and that's going to be a way push forward. Leo hoping to come back, but 10 comes in for Dignitas, and this fort has been taken out. Li Ming also destroyed during that fight.
Yeah, 6 kills against 0. 2 levels ahead, basically, is what we're seeing from Dignitas at this point in time. It's rough. Roll20 is going up against the #1 in the standings. The only team that Dignitas lost against were the leftovers, and this is just being emphasized once more. Dig is coming out. Super heavy aggression here today. 2-0 already, the lead in the series, and now they're just claiming the items on the map. They are in a great position in game number 3. And for Roll20, it's going to be very, very difficult to start a comeback here.
Feels like this has been the trend for today's games for Roll20 Esports. The early game not going so well for them, but as soon as they hit level 10, the question becomes, what if? Can they force a fight? Can they make it happen? So far in game 1, game number 2, never got that opportunity. To be fair, very different game. With Samuro still pushing, Dignitas always trying to back up. It has been difficult for them to get those fights. This time, a little bit more standard of a composition. They may be able to finally find that fight they've been looking for.
What Dignitas has been doing in game 1 and game 2 was definitely play the macro game and trying to control the map itself with Samuro, with the Abathur composition that they had before. Now we're seeing with those fights focus on the objective, a very heavy team fight setup for Dignitas. Going in again here, trying to see if they can get another kill. It's 10 versus 10 abilities. Temporal Loop, Roba is back in, and the immediate follow-up stun after the Temporal Loop locks him into place. Didn't have the Dwarf Toss anymore available to him as a setup either. Not even going here for the Avatar. Didn't have time to pull that off. Wouldn't even have mattered. Down he goes. Kill number 7 secured by Dig.
Chris tried to help out with the Dragon Zero, but wasn't able to land it. Dignitas was able to sidestep and find that kill, and they're looking for a little bit more too as they retreat straight to their opponent's side of the battleground and start working on the turret with Wubby on that front line and JPL to back him up. They feel like they can take this item. Zarmny trying to hold his own. He does have that Entomb, and here comes the Lornado. But he's just getting beat up on that front line.
They get the Entomb out, but there's just no follow-up right now. Well, Roba is jumping in, is trying to change that, but it's just not enough. And now we're having Stitch with the damage, but the side lane here. Nicely done. Good flank from Quacknix with a kill against Stromy. That came out of left field.
Wubby trying to come in here and find some more damage here. The Ardent Defender comes out while Quack goes for the full combo, and he's going to get punished for it as JPL comes up for the power slide. There goes the pop, and Wubby delivers the final blow, but he'll fall too.
Wubby goes down, but they get the kill against Liming. That was an important one. Still, Mephisto the entire time with the extra damage output. Good fight back from Roll20, but we still have that level advantage for Dignitas. But Mephisto also falling. That was a really important one. Also completing the quest for Muradin, and that's actually pretty impressive 9 minutes into the game. Good damage from him, and just in time for objective number 2.
Much needed experience, but a much needed statement for Roll20 to be able to get some kills too. Stop taking for one. Here's Temporal Loop though, a full combo, power slide afterwards. Zalia with the attacks, and there is a dead Hanzo. Bury him with his bow. Get rid of him, man. He's done.
Yeah, the power, like, I mean, you talked about it before the draft. I really expected them to try and go more for control with the slowing sands, but the combo that you've been highlighting earlier is just working so well regardless. You go into the Temporal Loop and then the power slide coming after. You don't even need that extra stun on Tyrande, so they're playing that a bit different here, but that blower potential is just absolutely powerful. ETC then with a follow-up damage there too, as we just saw, delivering the final blow against Hanzo. Now we have 9 kills against 3. But at least it is an opportunity for Roll20 to take another even talent fight, since they can now on level 13 talent start to make that transition topside and see if they can take the objective of Dignitas.
Let's see what they can do here. Zarmny comes in and finds the Wubby. Robodoba's there to back him up too with Poik shelling away on the Sandblast. Not connected with anyone here, so Wubby's actually taking some much needed damage for Roll20. It's just a matter of what they can find. The Dragon's Arrow will be up in about 2 seconds to finally force a fight.
Quest completion also from Chromie. Slight adjustment on the 13 of Mephisto with the Hysteria taken, so the extra cooldown reduction for their rogue ability as well through the trade.
Okay. So Roll20 takes over the control point. Some tapping goes on for Dignitas so they can heal up. Now Wubby with the Avenging Wrath wants to hop in. There we go. But Zarmny sidesteps it. This is pretty risky for both teams here. Can Robodoba find that Stormbolt? Whack. Come in and blow somebody up.
Lightning damage coming out here from Snitch as well the entire time. He's really racking up that damage throughout the game here. JPL needs to be careful. ETC is fantastic for the CC, but he just doesn't have that massive hit point pool, so he needs to really play this safe, and he does currently. Romy has a 16 right now too. Quest completion is going to give the additional boost. Snitch is already under a bit of trouble in the Shade form, but still able to easily move out, and JPL keeps him safe.
Yeah, so just trying to find someone that can get low, or for Chromie to land a target so they can immediately go straight for that Consume Souls and go for the same combo seen over and over. But Roll20's not giving up. Robodoba and Zarmny are keeping that front line protected while the rest stay behind enemy lines here and make sure they don't get picked up.
Aggressive setup here with the potions already if they're trying to engage. Snitch still with the poke damage. Zarmony is eating a lot of the combo here. Needs to be very careful. Robadova jumping to the backline here, but that's the only thing that he can do. They're just not finding the engage. Quacknix is poking and so is Chris, but they're not finding any kills.
Finally, Zarmony gets low, so Team Dignitas can take over the space here. Roby on the bottom side has kept Robadova at bay and also jumped away from a Stormbolt, so Snitch moves in. And if he wanted to, he could pop that Consumed Souls and try to make sure that Roll20 backs up. But Roll20, they don't want much more. They're deciding to go ahead and back away.
They're just giving it up completely. I was actually waiting for them to attempt to maybe re-engage here, send someone down, go to the fountain, and then try and buy some time. But that's not really happening here. And Dignitas takes the Protector, and with that they also start claiming the next healing beacon. So the push through the top lane, not even prepping the bot lane or anything, just already aiming to see if they can maybe grab the cape here.
Keep wall. We'll give them 16. The rest of Dignitas are already working on the middle lane. Yarel heading to the bottom. Want to soak all the experience. Head in the late game with as much as lead as possible. After Roll20 showed that multiple members were in the top lane defending, the Protector just backs away and plays a safe game. There is an easy port for them. Now they'll rotate to the bottom. Ooh, wait a minute. Okay, Robadova. He gets out of there.
Yeah, barely. If that lockdown happens against him, like, he's going to be dead meat. But he has the rotation down to the bot lane. So objective 3, of course, starting at the bot lane, and therefore you want to make sure that if you grab the second Protector, you take down your opponent's fountain bot side. Unless you really find massive value on the top lane through threatening a keep or anything like that. 16 talents are also now in, and with that we're having for Mephisto Animosity taken as the next one. So the extended duration for the Lightning Nova.
Dang, they are taking everything on this map here.
Yeah.
2 forwards, keep wall.
It's like the talent advantage that they have with that. You have the 16 in play now, and that's just a massive issue. The Protector too, don't want to lose anyone else here. Maybe some re-engage. Kane with a lockdown attempt, only Wubi is hit. And we still have Leoric at the top side, so yeah. Roll20 is trying to get that experience on the side lane, which means that they are not going to be aggressive at the bottom of the map, forcing a fight in a 4 versus 5.
Roll20 was just bluffing there, acting like they wanted to force a fight, just trying to buy time for Leo. Team Dignitas.
They just take the map.
Yeah. Turret. Another turret to the right. Support camp should be up soon. Gonna be full of items.
Yeah, they're gonna have 2 turrets and a healing beacon before anything else happens. So already a big item lead.
Yep. In 2.5 minutes they can look to invade again. Grab their own turrets too. Be set up for the last Protector phase. Robadova comes in with a Stormbolt and hits JPL. Temporal Loop. Knockback. Tornado, Power Slide, Murden's done, and look at Wubby. He is handling 3 on the backline. He even gets a kill with the help of a turret.
Gets a kill against Li Ning, but they don't get the kill against Robadova. And so far, Turan has actually only 4 stacks on her level 4. So that shows again that we don't have as many ETC slides into Tyrannostans as you would normally think there would be. But again, through the temporal loop, they're still getting these kills, and that's all that matters here. Zarmony is eating a lot of the poke damage. 16 is finally there for Roll20, but it just doesn't matter since they are 1 hero down, and Dignitas is using that chance to go through that wall in the middle, putting even more pressure onto the heroes, and just making this insanely scary. I mean, look at Robadova. He's losing hit points like crazy. The Shade comes in, the Lightning Nova is there, and all of a sudden the Dwarf is nearly dead.
I am surprised that he's lived through a couple of these, to be honest with you. It's the appeal of playing a Murden, though. Being able to jump away with low health, that's for sure. 18 to 16 and a half. Dignitas is on their way towards level 20. They're about to hit 19. An arrow comes out and actually connects with Snitch. Is he going to be able to be taken out here? He goes in and tries to get the shield, but it's too late as Roll20 finds a kill, and they're trying to find another here with JPL.
Mosh Pit comes through. Whoa. Damage on Robadova. He's low, but barely moving out. Zarmony, though, he dies, and that's Team Dignitas taking that fight in a 4 versus 5 after the engage with the Entomb, turning it around with a kill and keeping themselves in play here. Well done. They haven't even lost a fort yet. Far from it.
They still have the portal too, and they're actually going straight for Murden. Robadova will be the target. Oh, but the knockback actually kicks him out of the Lunar Flare, and Robadova survives, and now he's going to chase. JPL, if a Stormbolt hits, he could fall. Oh no, the magic missiles miss. Robadova's low on health, and Wubby says, oh.
That just feels bad. Murden jumps out. Urel was actually trying to escape, and then Murden jumped right in front of Urel, and Urel is like, well, don't mind me if I do. Delivers the final blow. That got a little bit unlucky here for Robadova. It just feels bad.
Dude, the last minute and a half for Robadova has got to be upset. Setting up the kill. Quack unable to deliver. He goes away for the escape and gets picked off. Feels bad, man, as Team Dignitas turns that around. grabs a turret, and builds towards level 20. That could have been their moment. It really could have.
I mean, it just, as he said, it just feels bad. Like, he barely escapes. That alone is already crazy since he got hit by the full Chromie combo, but it just wasn't quite enough to kill him. And then he jumps out, and you can see how Whoopi is actually trying to go to the top. He's trying to move out of this. And then all of a sudden, the dwarf lands right in front of him. It's like, well, okay, if you insist. And yeah, final blow, and that's it. But now the 20 is there. They get another healing beacon. Dignitas is just in such an insane spot. You look at the bot lane, and the entire keep is already pushed in. The wall is gone. You have the minion wave starting to even put damage onto the keep itself. That should be cleared up, but this is still going to push the keep down even further. So it opens up the entire bot lane for pressure. If that protector is taken by Dignitas, they are going to make that play for game.
Yeah, this is GG game, obviously. Roll20 is going to just try and force a fight. They have to. You don't want to defend that against a protector, especially with your keeping half level. They're going to come in and fight at a talent disadvantage. This is the only option they have. And here they go. They step up. We're waiting for that arrow. Dignitas is aware of this. We're going to try and spread out and make sure that they do not lose anyone quickly.
And here comes the temporal loop, and Robodoba gets the avatar in. Here comes the Tornado, but Quatnik's in the back is in trouble and barely moving out. Zelia escapes. The dwarf dies. Zamani is also about to fall. Bad times for Roll20 here. Dignitas just too strong. Shad was attempting to Hearthstone back here, but he gets sniffed out. Drops the B steps, drops the second. But yeah, they can even delay the kill here if they want. Funning around with him a little bit, but that protector has already been taken. Shad goes down. Protector shows no mercy. It's just like, all right, guys, stop joking around here. Stop playing. And then Dignitas is on their way to victory. Impressive team fight by them. Again, Roll20 was 3 levels down and a Storm Talent. They had to go for it. They had no other chance. It's the only fight you're going to get.
I mean, look how easy Spectre killed that keep, right? Like, even if there was 5 heroes there, wouldn't have mattered. Here we go. Straight in for the core. Team at Dignitas sets up for the third win. Roll20 will have some respawn here for one last-ditch attempt. Robodoba jumps in with the Stormbolt. Zarmany's on the back line going straight for the point. Geronda currently providing the heals while she continues to get those auto attacks. The robot there also, in case anyone does get weak, they can jump into. Here's another temporal loop combo. Boom! Robodoba will fall, and Team Dignitas finally will turn their attention over towards the core as Quack is trying to make his own splash in the back.
There's more heroes to chase. Not going for the core yet.
Poor Chris.
Yeah. Chris, the only one still there. Okay, there we go. Down he goes. But now they got Canis back, so there's another one that he can go for.
All right,
gets the Lornette in. And yeah.
Whoa, look at that. Dodging the Lunar players. Here it is, though. The core finally fallen. 5% down. There's 0. And that's gonna be it. GG, Dignitas takes the final game of the season 3-0.
Solid game.
Dignitas. Roll20.
It's one map. One map. And we could have had a beautiful song from Poit.
That's what you take from this series. The disappointment.
It's one map. That's all it comes down to.
I asked him, and he said there was a